Welcome back, guys, and welcome back to another episode of V4 Voter. I'm so glad to have you guys back here. I'm so sorry I didn't make an episode last week. I was sick. I got food poisoning. But I'm back, and I'm strong, and I'm ready for another video with you guys. I just want to take this opportunity again to say thank you so much for all the support so far. It's been really great hearing all the feedback from you guys. Not always via the comments, but face to face, it's always greatly appreciated. Remember that if you enjoy what you're seeing on my channel, please remember to subscribe and to share my videos like a virus on the internet, and we'll be like the Matrix and just share. Alright guys, so today's video is going to be about these guys. The physical game box. Now I've got 3 questions that I want to ask you guys today. Firstly, has online game purchases killed the physical game box thing? Secondly, are the new kids missing out on the toy shop like experience of like finding a new game on the shelf? And thirdly, is DLC bringing down the quality of games that are being released today, or at least in the last 10 years? The reason why I'm bringing up this topic today is for a couple of reasons. One of those reasons being that the display shelf in my room is being taken up by a lot of my girlfriend's books. As you can see, I don't really have a lot of stuff on the shelf. And it got me wondering about, the joy of owning the physical copy of a game versus the DLC or the digital version of it on your Steam account or your Origin account or whatever. So that got me onto the whole train of thought of what is digital download and DLC doing to the game industry, at least the retail space, of owning and buying physical copies of games. So let's get right into it. Topic number 1. Has online purchasing killed the physical game? I don't know about you, but I can remember running into a CNA when I was a kid and just like scouring the shelves to try and see what was the new game, or at least, if I'd heard about a new game being released, was it there? Was it on the shelf? Because remember, back then I didn't have the internet. I say back then as if I'm like some old fogey. I mean, this is probably about 15 years ago, I guess. Anyways, I used to love running into the shop and checking through the shelves to see if the new games were being released, and it was that thrill of the chase of the, what's out there before, without knowing about it 2 years in advance kind of thing, Now, what was really cool about these kind of game boxes were, and I'm so sad I don't own them anymore, I don't have any copies of them or any surviving from all the moving that I've done. Those like cereal box size game boxes where you'd get this massive box and you'd be able to like flip open the front of it, and then it had this huge flap and it'd tell you about the game, and there might even be like some screenshots and like give you this whole detailed thing. But like, I mean, the game box itself for the disc was, it was your regular size, but they gave you this massive box, gave you all the details and everything like that. And I loved that. That was like this whole physical experience of owning this really cool packaging, essentially. And then once you knew it was there, you could like go and save up all your pocket money, and then like, scrape together your money and then go there and buy it. And there was like this whole like thing about buying it and owning and getting your hands on it and being able to rip it open and tear the plastic off, and just the experience of the box itself was just so cool. However, now with these DLCs and digital download, you don't have that experience anymore. You kind of can. There are retail stores out there like your BT Games, and you can still go to CNA and that kind of a thing. But that experience of going into the shop and getting your hands on the thing, being able to open it up. Has digital killed that now? Are the new kids missing out on the joy of the toy shop-like experience of buying a game? So the experience, like I've said already, of buying a new game, I kind of compare it to a child like myself at some point running into a toy store and like checking out the new toys. Is there a new like tank thing that I can buy? Is there a new Star Wars figurine that I could buy? There's that thrill, that rush of running through the aisles and trying to find something that you like and pick it out and then spend your hard saved money on it, Now I know for some people the experience of the online purchase and the digital download can be very similar, in the sense that you're going to get the game before everybody else, possibly if you have like early access and things like that, so you can just purchase it, download it, and like the new experience, I guess, is watching that download bar just slowly fill up. Well, that was maybe a little bit quick. This is South Africa after all, so it's kind of like this. Anyways, you get the point. But at the end of the day, watching a loading bar download your game is, it robs you of that experience of tearing the plastic off, smelling that fresh new game box smell. And then there's no physical disc to meticulously take care of and make sure that it doesn't get scratched by your CD-ROM drive or DVD-ROM drive. This then again kind of brings me back to my point of my girlfriend's shelf that she's taking up with all her books. And before you all start taking out your iPhones and playing that whoop sound, that's not the point of this video, okay? Okay, she didn't bully me into giving her more space on the shelf, alright? Or mostly, at least. The truth of the matter is that I've actually lost a lot of the packaging that I used to have, and I kind of boiled that down to just being a youngster that didn't really appreciate the longevity of the packaging. I never foresaw this whole like downloading games on the internet thing. I mean, geez, like back then it was like 56k dial-up. I mean, just having the internet was a new thing to me, So unfortunately, I've lost a lot of this packaging along the way, which is really sad. Especially considering looking, at the kind of stuff you get these days. I mean, it's freaking awesome, man. But I have managed to hang on to some of them, right? And in many cases, I think they are kind of like books. You have them on a shelf, they look really cool, it's like a collection of your favorite stories. It's the same as games, it's a collection of your favorite stories, and you can put them there. You might never play them again. You might, they might just sit there forever. But, it has that nostalgia sitting right there on your shelf, and you can always look at it. I look at the Half-Life packaging. I mean, I've only got episode 1, but if I had the original Half-Life packaging, I mean, that would just be so cool, like having it all lined up there. I mean, I know a lot of people who have managed to collect this stuff and keep it all this time, and I mean, I get jealous. I'd love to be able to just gaze upon my collection of really awesome games and just remember like, I used to love playing that game, And then of course you can also show it off to your friends, I guess. Well, I mean, depends on who you let into your house or into your room. So like I mentioned earlier, there's some really cool stuff these days. Think about the Elder Scrolls Limited Edition Anthology Collection Edition in 2011, I think that's what it was called. Elder Scrolls Anthology and Elder Scrolls V Skyrim Collector's Edition from 2011, where you had Elder Scrolls V Skyrim and then from 1 to 4 you had all the discs in the box as well. So it's like this whole collector's edition thing. And it also had this whole like file system. It had maps of every single one of the previous games, so it's like this whole like tactile thing that you could keep. I mean, never mind that. Think about the Call of Duty Black Ops care package that you got. I mean, that was like literally like a full-on crate. It had a drone in it. A drone. The Gears of War Limited Edition and Epic Edition, I mean, you got the service medal in the case, which was like a literal medal in a case box thing. You got the COG flag, and then you got this cool like statue thing of Marcus, like in this like hardcore pose thing, and it's a full-on like, I mean, detailed piece of art that you get with this thing. And then of course, more recently, you get the Battlefield 1 Dice Edition, which also, I mean, it comes in this massive box, and you get this like huge friggin' sculpture thing, a figurine, but it's of the main character, and he's like in this crazy pose with his guns, and you can interchange the guns in his arms and stuff like that, and it's even got a light on it that lights it up to make it look like the cover art. And I mean, these are spectacular ornaments, spectacular pieces that you can keep forever, really. Now, I know a lot of these special edition things are extremely expensive, but I mean, think about the potential, and it's a collector's item, obviously. So I mean, it's the first port of call for any gamer who's decorating his man cave, or any woman cave, really. And I mean, like, a woman cave is in like a gaming room, but like for a woman, not like a woman's cave. You know what I mean. Is DLC bringing down the quality of games these days? Ever since the introduction of downloadable content, I've really truly felt like the quality of the games has decreased substantially, especially just in terms of delivering a final product. Maybe that's not entirely true. It's not like, the quality of the games is bad, but like it's the willingness of the developers to like just put out there, put a stamp of approval on it, say this is the final game, put it on a disc, get it out there, and just to like finish the game properly. I think it's too easy for these guys to go into this whole like patch mode, where you download the game, you start playing for a while, and there's just bugs everywhere, things crash, and then they go, oh, well, as long as we can get it out before Christmas, we'll just patch it along the way. That's not cool, man. I don't dig that. I mean, case in point again, I mean, you think back to a game like Half-Life, right? They didn't release it and then start dishing out patches afterwards. No, they worked their asses off, they finished the game, and they delivered an amazing product that everybody loves. To this day, everybody loves it. They had expansion packs, or at least, add-ons later on, which I guess you can kind of equate to a DLC. And I'm okay with that. Extra content is cool as a DLC. Like, I'm totally down with that. But finish the game, like, make a complete product and then put it out on the market for us to enjoy. I feel like it's just too easy for them to just push a game out, get it out there. I mean, even all this early access, I mean, that's really cool. Like, you can iron out a lot of the bugs before you release the game. But I mean, why have early access and then release a game and then just patch it 1,000 times after that? What was the point of the early access then? Now I'm sure, like, everybody's gonna say, but these days, games are like really complex. They're really, they've got all sorts of really high-end problems, I guess. I mean, it's the whole online thing, multiplayer, really intricate, like, and hardcore graphics and procedural generation, all this kind of stuff. And I'm sure that creates a lot of new problems that developers may not have had in the past. But that's the development of the game. I mean, it's an advancement in technology. It's an advancement in technology. You should be able to finish your product and deliver a product. I would much rather wait an extra month or 2 months or whatever it is to get the complete game. Unless the game's No Man's Sky. But that's not the topic of today's discussion. Let's not go there. Bastards. Anyways, guys, that's where I'm going to leave it today, and I really just want to hear from you guys about this. I mean, do you agree with me? Do you think game quality has decreased because of DLC and downloadable content? Are you also a collector of games? And if so, I mean, like, share with us. Maybe try post some pictures. I want to see your game collection. Have you got original packaging? Are you an old fogey like me, even though I'm not really old, that, really appreciates the quality of a well-packaged product, as opposed to just downloading it? Sound off in the comments below. I would love to hear from you guys, and thank you very much for joining me in this video. I will see you in the next one. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see some more content from me. Anyways, guys, that's it, and I will see you